Welcome to another episode of Battle Axe here on MC22. I'm Joey Danya alongside Bobby the Blade Bradford. We're at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa, all set to bring you week number 4 of action. If you're new to the show, let's explain how all of this goes down. There's a lot of different point rings on the target. As you can see, the outermost ring is worth 1. Going inwards, it's worth 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a 6 for the bullseye. Those little blue dots on the outermost ring, those are for kill shots. If a player hits it, it's worth 8 points. If they elect to go for a kill shot and don't hit it, they get 0 points. So a very high-stakes shot that a player can take at any point throughout the competition. Here are the standings. After 3 weeks of competition, it's Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw leading the way at a perfect 12-0 with an average score of nearly 54 points per game. And keep in mind, scoring is what will set the field for the double elimination postseason tournament after 7 weeks of competition. Chris D'Onofrio is in second, followed by Casey Nines. Here's D'Onofrio getting set for week number 4 of action. He's going to go head-to-head with Cody Yoakum. This is a big-time matchup of a couple of powers in this league, Bobby.
Yeah, 2 top 4 competitors. Really looking forward to this matchup. Cody coming in at 12-0. Chris with the 1 loss on the season.
Both off to nice starts here, throwing 5s as we get week number 4 started on Battle Axe.
As you can see, Chris is just whistling away there, so he's pretty calm, cool, and collected here going into this match.
Such a mental game, and if whistling is what keeps his head in the right space, then he's going to be whistling all day long.
Absolutely. So there's a nice 5 there by Chris. Cody just off the mark there. Again, that axe has to hit on both sides of the board there, so just missing a 5 there is Cody.
He's not whistling anymore.
And again, Chris with that intense focus. Really nice throw there. Could be a bullseye. We'll see if it hits both sides of the red there.
It's awfully close.
Bullseye, Chris. I got to look at that closer.
And it is a bullseye for Chris the Dagger D'Onofrio. So he's going to have at least a 2-point advantage. And it's a 4 from Cody Yoakum, so a 3-point lead now for D'Onofrio.
Yep, and just another slight miss there by Cody. But again, still within this match here. Down by 3. He needs to start hitting those 5s and 6s.
Looks like a 5 there from Yoakum. It's a 4,
bullseye,
however, and another bullseye for D'Onofrio. So just like that, he's got a 4-point advantage.
Right,
Yeah, and Chris with a chance at a unicorn here going into his 5th throw. Cody's really got to focus up, start hitting those 5s and 6s.
That looks like a unicorn to me, Bobby. Right down Broadway for another bullseye for the Dagger.
A nice unicorn there by Chris, but again, Cody, you can see the smile on his face. He just hit a bullseye as well, so can't gain any ground on the Dagger.
Hanging around. It's a 5-point game as we get set for the second half. Yoakum and D'Onofrio switch sides. And
bullseye, Chris. 5, Cody.
Another bullseye for D'Onofrio. He is on fire right now. That's 4 straight bullseyes. It's a 5 for Yoakum and a 6-point lead for D'Onofrio.
Yeah, Chris really locked in here to his throw, doing a good job of staying consistent with his release point, and Cody doing a nice job of starting to hit those 5s.
Chris D'Onofrio can't miss right now. That looks like another bullseye, and it is.
Bullseye there.
Cody.
I was going to say, that looked like a 5 there by Cody.
5 straight bullseyes for D'Onofrio.
Wow.
To make it a 7-point lead with 3 throws to go.
So, again, we are getting to that midpoint of the season here, Joey, so we might be seeing some players go for that kill shot or at least start practicing it in-game, because it's one thing to hit it in the practice round. It's another thing to hit it in the game. And you can see Chris there is a little disappointed by not hitting a 6 there.
He couldn't believe it.
Couldn't believe it.
It's just a 4 for D'Onofrio, who is human after all. So we've still got a game here with 2 throws to go.
Yeah, Cody doing a nice job of making up some points there. Looks like another nice throw. Could be another bullseye
bullseye
there.
And 4, Chris.
I was going to say, yeah, that looked like a bullseye there for Cody Yoakum.
So Cody Yoakum puts
last
himself
throw,
in
Chris is
position
up
here
by
where
4.
if he could get a kill shot, who knows? But doesn't look like he's going to be going for the kill shot.
Looks like a 5 there for
5, Cody.
Chris and a
5, Chris.
5 there for Cody.
Indeed it is, and that'll do it.
All
Chris
right, good game.
D'Onofrio.
It was 49 to
Thanks to
53
5
Chris.
straight bullseyes in the middle of this one, he gets the win, 53 to 49. Well, Chris D'Onofrio is on fire right now. What an impressive round. 5 straight bullseyes, just a couple of fours, a really nice round of 53, slightly above his season average of 51.4.
Yeah, a great job by Chris there to throw those 5-6s there, and good job for Cody to stick around this thing, making it close. Definitely was in a hole there for a little bit of the game, but made it nice and competitive towards the end.
The first loss of the season for Yoka moves him to 12-1. D'Onofrio improves to 12-1. Here's D'Onofrio on a big trip he's about to take to Oklahoma for a major tournament.
I mean, it's a huge event. I mean, top players are going to be there. Number one's going to be there, Mike Philibom. He is just phenomenal. So it's going to be an honor to just be in his presence. I'm going to try to hook up to him or with him and just talk to him and get some pointers and soak in what I can soak in.
Chris D'Onofrio performing at a very high level right now, and he's going to go put his talents to the test against some of the very best. We've got much more action coming up right now here on week number 4 of Battle Axe. We're set to bring you our next matchup. Brandon Feenstra looking set to go against Sarah Fitting. Looking forward to this one, Bob.
Yeah, it's going to be another good matchup here. Brandon coming in at 6-6, Sarah at 7-5. Two well-placed opponents here.
5 Sarah, 4 Brandon.
So a 4 for Brandon Feenstra and a 5 for Sarah Fitting.
Yeah, Sarah, again, one of the more consistent throwers we have. We can see the axe get away from her for a little bit, but really working on trying to hit those 5s and 6s is Sarah. So she can kind of get into a little bit of a rut of 4s.
Fitting averaging nearly 41 points per game. Feenstra is averaging 44.6 points per. So pretty even matchup here.
Yeah, it's going to be a kind of the middle of the pack matchup here. But again, these players have proven they can beat anybody on any given match.
Sarah, Bullseye, Brandon.
Especially when you've got throws like that from Brandon Feenstra. It's the first bullseye of the match, and it gives him a 1-point lead.
And you can see both players doing a good job of staying in a rhythm. They're kind of just really staying in the zone, not really worrying about what the other opponent's throwing.
4 and 4.
Couple of 4s for Feenstra and Fitting. Consistency is the name of the game, and we've really seen all of these players elevate themselves to a very consistent level throughout this season.
Absolutely. The progression from season to season, we've seen each player, old ones and the new, do a really good job of putting up consistent scores, eliminating drops, and just producing competitive matchups.
So Sarah Fitting ties it up with a 5 to a 4 from Feenstra. 22 all after the first half. Fitting and Feenstra switch sides and get set to go for the second half.
Just like it was billed, it's going to be a close matchup, and we'll see who comes out on top.
4 Brandon, 5
I was going to
Sarah.
say, it looked like the bottom of that blade hit the 5 ring there for Sarah, so nice job to go up by 1 over Brandon Feenstra.
We've got a nail-biter here between Feenstra and Fitting. 4 throws to go and a 1-point lead for Sarah Fitting.
You go, and Brandon with a nice release point there. The axe getting away from Sarah a little bit. Brandon, I believe, has a 5 there. We'll wait on official word, though.
5 Brandon.
It is a 5 for Brandon Feenstra. So just like that, we are all tied at 31 apiece.
We are all tied up, but it's a lucky thing for Sarah to not get that 3 there. So nice job for her to get that bottom of the axe into that 4 ring on an errant throw. Oh.
Could be a 5 for Feenstra. If it is, he will take the lead.
I'm wondering, too, that might be a bullseye if it's hitting the bottom there. You can see Jenny, the referee, getting the flashlight out.
I would say that's a 5, Brandon.
So she's calling a 5.
Argue it though, feel free to.
But also leaving the room for Brandon to challenge it if he wants. So Brandon's going to take a close look at it as well. Knowing that points are very crucial in any match, especially a close one.
That's a 1-point lead for Feenstra with 2 throws to go.
So Brandon sticking with the 5 there, electing not to challenge it. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him, but nice throw there by both competitors.
Bullseye, Sarah.
A couple of bullseyes when they really needed it
last
most.
Throw, Brandon,
Brandon says, well, that last
point.
one might have been a bullseye, but this one for sure is a bullseye.
Brandon Feenstra locked in right now, and he's going to look to put it away here on the final throw with a 1-point lead.
Oh.
Left the door open a little bit.
Left the door open, and I think Sarah went right through it. So Sarah coming through with the last throw victory there.
Good game. It was 45 Brandon, 47
What a throw
Sarah.
from Sarah Fitting. Back-to-back bullseyes to get a 2-point win over Brandon Feenstra. Well, Feenstra was performing really well in this one, and then just a very devastating 3 there on his final throw to keep the door open, and Sarah Fitting really took advantage and nailed in the bullseye.
Absolutely, and this is one of those things, Joey, that can really happen in axe throwing when you're getting really competitive matchups, players that are really close in average score. It just takes a couple throws, and all of a sudden the tide can turn, and as we saw there, Sarah with a nice throw on the 10th throw to come out the victor.
Yeah, and a very impressive round for both of these competitors, well above their season averages. Fitting improves to 8-5. Feenstra drops to 6-7. Much more still to come here on this episode of Battle Axe. We'll bring you all the action straight ahead on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe here on MC22. Joey Danya alongside Bobby Bradford here at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa. We've got a player profile we're very excited to bring you right now. We're going to go one-on-one with Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. He's going to tell us about his first time throwing an axe and his progression in his sport.
It's kind of like the old cliche. My wife brought me down for my birthday a year and a half ago with a couple of buddies, and we had a great time with it. And a couple of my buddies had a little too much to drink, and they thought they'd be funny and threw out 2 $100 bills and asked me to take an axe in each hand. If I hit the bullseye, then I walk away with $200. Well, that started my career. I went out and bought a couple of ace of spades, and the rest is history. I absolutely love it. It gives me something to focus on, just get away from work. I'm a career computer geek, so being able to take my mind off of that and come out and throw has just been fantastic. It's just been a nice way to relieve some stress. I played organized sports as a kid, but nothing, really major. Starting to axe throw and really getting good at it and being competitive. Wanted to try to do the best I can, knowing that I could always try and do better. And when I don't do that, I kind of get down on myself a little bit and try and be a little overzealous, and that's what gets me into trouble, getting into my own head. Short term, I want to be able to continue winning leagues. We have a great family down here, but being able to get the competitive juices flowing and continue that journey. I'd also like to be able to qualify for major tournaments, like the World Championships, the US Open, the big tournaments. Being able to get those in on my qualifying throws and being able to get enough circuit points and accumulate enough circuit points to be able to compete, that's what I'm looking for. I know there's a lot of great throwers out there and want to try and strive to be at that level. It may take me a while, but I hope to get there one day.
Well, he's well on his way. The game came very natural to Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, and he just seems to keep getting better and better, Bobby.
Absolutely. One of the premier throwers in this league and hopefully in the world as well.
Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw set to go here in week number 4. He's going to go head-to-head with Casey Bullseye Buell.
Right.
Yeah, another heavyweight matchup that we have here,
I'm
and of
so
course,
sorry about that.
Matt's calling card.
It's a good thing you
those
write it down,
fantastic
too.
pants. So I believe it's waffles this week.
Yeah, we've seen steak, I believe, and bacon.
Mm-hmm.
His pants always look delicious.
They always look delicious and always make you want some type of food.
For Casey, Bullseye, Matt.
Well, there's a bullseye for Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. Buell throws a 4.
I knew I was eventually going to do that
So
one
Buell,
time.
of course, knows that he has to, very little room for error going up against Matt, the Magic Man Bradshaw. So it's just a good job. We've seen Casey actually beat Matt in seasons past, so he knows that he can take him down.
Yeah, these competitors know each other very well. This rivalry goes back to the very first season of Battle Axe.
Yep, and again, as we've kind of seen a theme with Casey over the past couple of weeks, is that he's having a real hard time kind of getting locked in early on in a match. It's kind of taken him a few throws to get that 5 and 6 ring down.
Yeah, Casey took a couple of seasons away from the game, but he's back this season and looking to find his rhythm here.
Looks like that might be a bullseye there for Casey Bullseye Buell, and we'll have to get a check. Ooh, so just not hitting that each side of that red circle there. Close throw, though.
It's a 3-point lead for Matt Bradshaw. Looking to keep his perfect record intact, 12-0 coming into this one.
And as we've seen a tactic with other competitors in leagues past, Matt is one of the more patient throwers. He takes a while to throw. So we've seen other competitors kind of take their time as well and trying to get in his head a little bit, but that's not the approach Casey's taking today.
Yeah, we have seen it rattle him just a little bit in seasons prior, but thus far today, Bradshaw looks solid for the first 4 throws of this one.
Absolutely. Matt is a creature of habit, always likes to have his routine with his throw, and really does go into his consistency as a thrower. You got the close throw there.
I would say it's a 4, but I'd like
Bradshaw.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's
That's a close match, but look like we're going to bring Casey Nines in.
Okay.
So they're going to rule it a 4, which is a big decision considering how close that was to the 5 ring. And you can see Casey is just a little defeated there.
Yeah, when you're going up against Bradshaw, every point is crucial, and it's a point that Buell wishes he certainly could have had. We're set to go for the second half. Nice throw there from Buell.
Yeah.
It's a 4, though. He just missed the 5 once again. Bradshaw throws a 5 to extend his lead to 5.
And one thing to really pay attention to with every player in this league is the direction of their axe when it hits the board. You see when Matt throws the axe, it really hits flush with the board, really straight on. And you can see there's a great throw there by Casey Buell. But when the players kind of get off their rocker a little bit, that axe will kind of waver a little bit and kind of go in diagonally a little bit, which can lead to drops and other things you don't want.
Buell throws a bullseye, and Bradshaw answers with a bull of his own.
Yep, so even when he throws a bullseye, he can't make up any points against Bradshaw. It's just what it's like when you go up against a heavyweight.
5 Casey, bullseye, Matt.
That's a great throw there.
Another bullseye for Bradshaw. Chance at a unicorn here on his 9th throw, and he's got a 6-point lead.
Well, and as you can see there, Casey had a smile on his face, but everyone just approaches the game with a playful attitude, and although they want to win, they really just enjoy having a fun time as well.
4 Casey.
Well, that throw gets away from Buell, and it's a unicorn for Matt Bradshaw.
That is a bullseye there for Matt,
All right, and then you're on your
just
last
a tremendous
throw.
showing.
Matt is up by 8 points.
So Buell's going to go for the kill shot. He says, why not? If somehow he could get a drop from Bradshaw and hit the kill shot, we'd have sudden death.
Sudden death. And again, as we kind of suspected, players know the tournament's right around the corner. They're going to have to go for it. And that's a heck of a try there by Casey Buell. Missed the mark, but not by much.
Bullseye, Matt.
And Matt.
A 4th straight bullseye for Matt
All right,
Bradshaw
it was
to put an
40 to 54
exclamation
on that
point
one.
on this one. Bradshaw beats Buell 54-40. Well, the Magic Man really got locked in there on the back half of this one. 4 bullseyes to finish it.
Yeah, and again, like we said during the match itself, Casey has a hard time, or is having a hard time actually, getting going early on in matches, but a nice job for him. Obviously, the 0 and the 10th throw really kind of skewed the outcome of this game a little bit, but nice aggressive play to go for the kill shot, and just wasn't enough for the Magic Man.
Yeah, we talked about consistency and how important it is. Buell taking a couple seasons of off, it's taken him a little while to get that rhythm going. Here's Buell on his progression thus far this season.
I mean, I'm mid-pack right now, which isn't horrible by any means, but obviously you want to be best. You want to be on the top. So, but like I said, a lot of great competitors, Bradshaw, Nyans, Casey, or Chris. I mean, there's a lot, even the new guys that came in doing great, so it's a lot of good competition.
Buell is getting a workout here in week number 4. He's going to get right back to it here for another competition. His next opponent is Hannah Brussels. Here's Hannah on her progression this season.
A little more confidence when I'm not in the back room, but I'm getting there. I definitely feel more confident about my throws, feel more comfortable being in front of the board, so just taking it one game at a time.
Hannah Brussels, one game at a time, and she's set for her next game against Casey Bullseye Buell. We're going to bring you all of the action right now here on Battle Axe. Hannah Brussels coming into this one with a record of 6-6. Casey Buell looking to get to 7-6.
Yeah, nice matchup here for sure. Hannah is definitely one of the most improved players in the league from leagues past, and she's doing a great job putting up some really good numbers.
5 Casey.
Buell looking to get to 7-7, I should say. It's a reason that I'm not a mathematician, Bobby.
Well, that's why we like to keep nice and simple numbers. We won't be throwing any calculus or algebra your way there, Joey. But Casey, again, struggling to get that bullseye ring to start off a match, and Hannah doing a little happy
Bullseye,
feet
Hannah,
dance
5 Casey.
because she's setting up for a unicorn on her third throw.
What a start for Hannah Brussel. She's got a 12-10 lead after a couple of bullseyes.
Yep, so, one of the things Hannah's done to improve as a player is just really kind of focusing on the board and not getting in her own way. Oh,
Oh,
4 Casey. Drop
And
it.
as you
jeez.
can see-
What a start for Brussel. And then you could see there was a little banter between Brussel and Buell, and who knows, maybe it just took her out of her rhythm.
Little head games, of course, we've always talked about. Head games are a very important part of this this sport, so we'll see how she rebounds.
Great song by Foreigner as well.
Exactly.
4 Hannah, Bullseye Casey.
So there we have it. After the drop, Casey pouring it on here with the bullseye,
All
Hannah
right,
with a
5th
4.
throw. Casey's up by 4.
How quickly fortunes can change. Brussel once leading this one by 2. She's now down by 4.
But it's
Poor Hannah.
important just to keep putting positive points on the board.
4 Casey.
I was going to say that's a tough little throw there. It looks like the bottom of the axe might be hitting through the 5, but getting up close, they saw it was a 4. So
Buell leading 24-20 after the first half. They switched sides. We're set to go for the second half. And a nice throw there from Casey
4
Buell.
and 5 Casey.
And as we've seen with Casey in leagues past, when he's really locked in, he has one of the more aggressive
different
throws. It's just there's
colors,
very
but
little
no.
motion with it.
I'm not like a beer.
It's very deliberate. And so you can see he's getting locked into that deliberate throw, and, of course, always keeping it light here at the Battle Axe arena.
There's a great
Hannah.
answer from Hannah Brussel.
5 Casey.
So Hannah with the bullseye there to make up a little bit of points there. So now a 4-point deficit going into the 8th throw. She's just got to stay locked in. She got close to a unicorn early. Let's see if she can keep pouring it on here. Ooh.
There's a chance for Brussel to get a couple more points.
4 and Bullseye
Ooh, I was
Hannah.
going to say, that looks like it's a bullseye, and the axe getting away from Casey. So, again, shaving away points. Now it's a 2-point game. And another chance at a unicorn here for Hannah.
Brussel clawing back into this one. 2 throws to go. She's down by 2. A big throw, number 9, coming here for Hannah Brussel.
Looks like a 5 for
Hannah.
Casey and
5
a
Casey.
4 for Hannah, and she knows that was a big throw there. Can't give up any more
All right,
points.
last throw. Casey's up by 3 points.
Going to need a major mistake by Casey here, which, the axe can get away from him, and Hannah just needs to hit that bullseye. So, another exciting finish here. Ooh, that could
That
be
is
close
awfully
there, Joey.
close to being a 3.
4 and
Oh,
4.
but it just can't hit there. So it looked like
All
a
right,
3.
good
It's a
game.
4 for Casey and a 4 for Hannah. Nice match, though.
44 Hannah, 47
Casey Buell is the victor, 47-44. Hannah Brussel got off to a nice start, and then Casey Buell had the answer.
As we said before, Hannah, one of the most improved players of the league, so she's doing a good job without that drop. I mean, this game could be in her hands as well. So, nice progression for her, nice rebound for Casey Buell after facing the Magic Man, and just a fun game. Nice little game.
Yeah, it shows just how devastating a drop can be. Had it not been for that drop, you got to think Brussel probably would have come out with this one.
Absolutely. So Casey Buell goes to 7-7. Hannah falls to 6-7. Great matchup, though.
Much more action still to come here on Battle Axe. We'll bring it all to you straight ahead here on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe. I'm Joey Danya alongside Bobby Bradford here at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa, to bring you all of the action from week number 4. We're going to throw it down to our next competitor here. It's a familiar face, Casey Laserwolf Nines, who's trying to perform just the way he practices.
I have to figure out why during my hour of practice I hit a lot more bullseyes than I do during the games. I don't know what it is. I don't change anything up. I don't know if it's just like the added stress of now it's like actual count the games. But I really need to try to get those bullseyes more. That's really at this point it's gonna be make it or break it. If you don't hit those bullseyes, you're not gonna advance further. Everyone here they've been hitting them and hitting them and hitting them, and I gotta get there too.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Nines getting set for his Week 4 opponent. It's a familiar face, Stephanie Prine.
don't know, I feel like normally when I play Casey, like it's like pretty close, you know? We just have like a good friendship, so I'm never like nervous going up against Casey, but I know he's obviously a tough player, but I don't know. It makes it a little more fun when you can have a little more fun.
A nice friendly rivalry between Prine and Nines, and we are set to bring it to you right now here on Battle Axe. Casey Nines coming in with a record of 11-2 on the season, and he's going to put that record on the line against Stephanie Prine. She comes in with a record of 3-9, but she's always been a formidable opponent for Casey Laserwolf Nines.
Yeah, absolutely. Stephanie, we've seen, she can play with anybody in this league, so
4-4.
should be a good matchup.
Couple of 4s from Prine and Nines to start this one.
Well, and really capitalizing on Casey's inconsistency that he was talking about before the match began. He has to be the one that sets the tone of the match and puts the points on the board to put pressure on his opponent.
Nice throw there from Prine. She's hoping it's a bullseye.
Ooh, so it's a tough call there.
Boy, from here, it looked like it had a chance to be a bullseye, but it's a 4.
And going back to how that axe actually hits the board as well, it's one of those important things. Stephanie, her axe can hit the board in many different ways. You know, it doesn't really hit flush a lot of the time.
She calls her axe the Pink Lady. It's got that pink handle.
Yep.
And it's another 4 for the Pink Lady.
But
and another 4 for Nines.
Yeah, again, so this goes back to what Casey was kind of talking about. He's really got to put the pressure on his opponent. He's got to put up those numbers for them to be worried. You know, we talk all the time about being in the driver's seat of these matches and stuff and not wanting to be chasing points. So
Bullseye and 5, Stephanie.
Casey doing a nice job there, throwing a bullseye. Stephanie doesn't know what to do after throwing a 5.
All right,
so big
fifth
smile
throw.
from Casey
Fifth throw,
Nines
Casey's
after
up by
his first
2.
bullseye of the day. He's got a 2-point advantage. Nines averaging just over 50 points per game.
Nice.
When you've got players like Matt Bradshaw averaging nearly 54 per, you got to hit bullseyes.
Absolutely. He knows what's waiting for him come tournament time, but nice couple throws there by Laser Wolf and Stephanie.
So 2 straight bullseyes from Laser Wolf. Chance at a unicorn right here.
Ooh, it's going to be close. It looks like a 5, though. And Stephanie's lucky to keep that axe on the board. So a 3-point lead here for Casey Nines going into the 7th throw. Kind of locking it in is Casey. Ooh.
That one might be a 4. Looks
4?
like it's going to be a 5. It's a bullseye for Laser Wolf.
Yeah, again, so that bottom of the axe, the axe can hit flush on multiple different rings, but as long as it hits on that highest part of the ring on both sides, that's what it's going to count. So even though it could hit the 4, 5, and 6 ring, as long as it's hitting both sides of the 6 ring, it's going to count as a bullseye.
I might need to get my eyes checked after this one, Bobby.
I can't see any of yours. 4, Stephanie.
Well, that's why we had Jenny here going up and checking it out and making sure everything is above board.
Jenny is fair but firm.
And as we've seen before in leagues past or matchups past, all these players are very honest about their throw. If they see that it's not what originally was called, they're gonna call it out. They want to come by their victories honorably.
5, Casey.
But a 5-point lead going into the 10th throw. Stephanie with
All right, last throw. Casey's up
nice
by
showing,
5.
although that axe is getting away from her a little bit.
So it doesn't look like Prine's going to go for a kill shot.
No, just looking to put points on the board there.
5, Casey.
Might be a 4 for the Pink Lady.
4, Stephanie.
It is.
It's a 4.
Nines wraps up his round with a 5.
Right,
he gets the win, 50 to 44 over Stephanie Prine. So Casey talked about the importance of throwing bullseyes, and he got into a nice little rhythm there, put together a string of 3 bullseyes in 4 throws, and that was ultimately the big difference in this one.
Yeah, you can see only 3 4s there by Casey in the match, so a nice job to put up a score of 50 right around his season-long average. And Stephanie doing a nice job of keeping it close there at the end, but she's really got to work on that placement of the axe on the board.
Nines improves to 12-2. He is just one of the many great competitors in this league. For more on all of the top competitors here on Battle Axe, we're going to throw it down to Eric the Scope Chisel.
Well, I'm proud of them. They did. They put in the work. They put in the hours. They put in the practice. You know, they are really good. They earn every point that they get. They really do. They put the those axes on the board, and they mean it. They're good players, and I'm still trying to catch up. I'm still not satisfied with being 8th place, even though left-handed it is a trick. But you'll see in the next coming games that things are going to happen for me. We're gonna turn up. We're gonna throw some good stuff. We'll have good competition.
Eric Chisel sounding very confident, and he's got a tall task in order here today. He's going to go up against Matt Bradshaw. Here is the Magic Man on his consistency.
I'm just not being consistent. I'm left, right, 5s, 4s. Bullseyes are a little bit inconsistent, so I just got to work on getting that fine tune in my release, and hopefully it'll come back.
Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw looking to win another title. He, of course, won our very first championship on season number 1. And right now, Eric the Scope Chisel is looking to take down the Magic Man. Matt Bradshaw against Eric Chisel.
Matt won our fall league on our first time, and then Eric won the winter league as well. So these are 2 past champions going up against each other.
Of course, though, the big story this season for Eric Chisel, throwing with the left hand after an injury in the offseason.
Yeah, but as we've seen, it's been a tremendously competitive throw that Eric has developed here, and one of the things I think he wants to take on each competitor with their opposite hand as well, at least once this season, just to kind of see how it would play out.
Really impressive what Chisel has been able to do with his left hand. A couple of 5s to start this one. We're all tied up. Heading into the second throw.
And so for any player, consistency is huge, and obviously Eric has been working on his consistency. We know that he has a good throw with his left hand, but it's the maintaining that has really been the issue for Eric. And it looks like he called, so that looks like it's going to be a change from a 5 from Matt Bradshaw to a 4. So an early advantage here for Eric the Scope to go up by 1.
There's an answer from the Magic Man, and like you were saying, sometimes that axe can just get away from Chisel, and there's a 3. Yep. It's a 5 from Bradshaw. Now he's got a 1-point lead.
Yep, and it's important for Eric here to maintain his composure. Yeah, it's a 3, but you're only down by 1, and if that's the case against the Magic Man, I mean, you got to consider yourself lucky. You can always find your bullseye stroke here, so he's got to start peppering in those 5s and 6s and keep the pressure on Matt. And that's going to be a close throw there.
5 Matt, 4 Eric.
So close to a 5 there. It looks like it's hitting that black ring of the 5, but not popping through.
5th row, Matt is up by 2 points.
But again, I think if you told Eric that he's going to be down by 2 going into the 5th throw, I think he'd take that every day.
Absolutely. We've yet to see a bullseye here from the Magic Man, and Chisel is hanging around.
Yep, so going back to what Matt was talking about with the consistency of his throw, he's always going to try to fine-tune his game. And there's
nice
a
great throw
there
from the Magic Man.
Yep.
Bullseye Matt, 4 Eric.
It's a bullseye for Bradshaw and a 4 for Chisel.
And Eric just missing a 5 by very, very little.
So 4-point lead now for Matt Bradshaw after the first half of this one. Bradshaw and Chisel switch sides, and we are underway in the second half.
There's a tremendous throw there by Eric. Just a very flush bullseye there.
Boy, and did he need it. Bradshaw throws a 4, so Chisel gets within 2.
We got ourselves a 2-point game. So, again, now important for Eric to maintain that pedal to the metal mentality. Just got to put up those 5s and 6s and hope that Matt can get stuck in that 4 ring.
These two really taking their time.
Bullseye Matt, 4 Eric.
And Bradshaw
Wow.
throws another bullseye.
That's how quickly it can turn here in Battle Axe. You know, Eric had all the momentum going into the 7th throw. Axe gets away from him a little bit. He throws a 4, and Matt doesn't let up and throws a 6, so we are right back to where we started from. So, tremendous blow there by for Eric the Scope, but we'll see how he rebounds. It's a nice throw there. That could be a bullseye.
Great throw from Bradshaw as well. They both just missed the mark for a bullseye. So it remains a 4-point game.
You see Eric kind of taking a close look there, knowing that all these points are very crucial. If he can even get 1 on the 8th throw, that would be huge. So he's got to maintain his composure. He's doing a good job of throwing consistent 5s and 6s here. And just hoping the Magic Man can make a mistake. Another nice throw.
5 Matt, 5 Eric.
5s once again.
5s once again, and again, just
This
Eric
is
can't gain
Yes,
any
Matt's up
ground
by
versus
4
Matt.
points.
It's a very frustrating position to be in.
Well, one way he could gain some ground and perhaps get the win is to go for a kill shot, and that's exactly what the scope is going to do.
Well, and of course, Eric got his nickname from being aggressive with those kill shots, of course, with the right hand, but he's still going to be aggressive and go for those kill shots, even left-handed. So, but he's off the mark there.
Bullseye, Matt.
And Matt the Magic Man puts an exclamation point on this
All
one
right,
with a
good game.
bullseye.
41
He
to
gets the win
51, Matt.
51-41 over Eric Chisel. Well, Matt Bradshaw now a perfect 14-0. It wasn't his best round, but he did more than enough to get the win.
Absolutely. Under his average score there, but Eric doing a nice job of putting pressure on Matt the Magic Man. And, of course, Eric just had to be aggressive on that 10th throw and go for that kill shot. But to what Matt was saying, he's really kind of locking in on those 5s and 6s, so really working on that precise attack.
Eric Chisel drops his record to 7-6 on the season. Bradshaw, as we mentioned, a perfect 14-0. He is the points leader here on season number 4. We've got much more action to bring you here on Battle Axe. We'll bring it all to you straight ahead here on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe here on MC22. I'm Joey Danya alongside Bobby Bradford. We're bringing you an exciting and thrilling week number 4 of action. It's been a lot of fun so far, but we're not done yet. We've got one final matchup to bring you here in week number 4, and we're going to bring that to you right now. Hannah Brussel set to take on Sarah Fitting. This should be a good one, Bobby. Both competitors coming in with very comparable records.
Absolutely, and we saw Hannah with a nice matchup earlier versus Casey Bullseye Buell. Had a costly drop that might have cost her the game, so we'll see how she responds to that.
Cool.
Sarah Fitting starts this one off with a bullseye.
A couple nice throws there by each competitor. Both put up really consistent, nice numbers. So this is going to be a close one for sure.
4 and
Like a
4.
couple fours there.
Indeed it is. It's a 10-9 advantage after 2 throws for Sarah Fitting over Hannah Brussel.
Yeah, so again, for Hannah, it's all about putting that axe on the board, keeping it on the board. She's had problems with drops and happy feet a little
Bring
bit for her,
Hannah.
but
4,
axe
Sarah.
getting away from her, but still points on the board.
So Fitting gains another point to make it a 14-12 game.
And this is a kind of a theme we've talked about with other matchups and everything. It's when you're in the driver's seat, you have to be able to put the pressure on your opponent.
4 and 5,
Keep
Sarah.
piling up points, so nice job by Sarah for doing that. Slowly increasing your
All
lead
right, 5th
each
throw.
throw.
Sarah's up by 3.
Fitting extends the lead to 19-16.
So it's really important now for Hannah to start kind of putting some pressure on Sarah. And I might have gained a point there,
5, Hannah.
and she did. So making a 2-point game going into the 6th throw.
We've got a close one here. Fitting leading 23-21.
Now it's important for Hannah to be able to keep eating away those points. So Sarah kind of the axe getting away from her a little bit. Hannah has to capitalize, and unfortunately
3, Hannah.
cannot.
4, Sarah.
Eating away. Now, if Hannah had some sprouts in her possession, what would they be called?
I believe they would be Brussels sprouts.
That is correct. Sarah Fitting extends the lead back to 3.
We'll have to think of a vegetable pun for Sarah, but nothing comes to mind right now. But nice 5 there by
5,
Hannah.
5, Sarah.
Ooh, and can't catch a break. So maintains that 3-point lead, does Sarah Fitting. Doing a nice job of keeping the pedal on the metal, eliminating mistakes.
She's been very consistent here. If she can keep that consistency going, she'll wrap up week number 4 with a win.
Yeah, and she's done a good job of when
Four,
she
Sarah,
does make a
4,
mistake,
Hannah.
Hannah's been unable to capitalize on that. So again, Sarah throws a 4 there. Hannah just misses a 5. So Sarah doing a great job of not allowing Hannah any leeway to get back into this matchup.
Throw number 9 on the way. Sarah Fitting with a 3-point lead. Oh, my goodness.
We'll have to see. And a nice throw there by Hannah. We'll have to see.
Bullseye, Hannah.
Wow. What a turn of events there. It's a 0 for Fitting, a bullseye for
All right,
Hannah
last
Brussel.
throw, Hannah's up
Just
by
like
3.
that, a
Wow.
3-point lead for Fitting turns into a 3-point lead for Hannah Brussel with 1 throw to go.
Wow. So just a tremendous turn of events there. Sarah with a nice throw there on a 5. Needs a huge mistake by Hannah.
5 and
But
5.
Hannah doesn't let that happen. So a tremendous
All right,
victory
good game.
by Hannah Brussels.
41, Sarah.
She comes
44,
from
Hannah.
behind and throws a big bullseye to get the win, 44 to 41. This is why we talk about it so often. If you can just hang around, you never know what's possible.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you never want to rely on your opponent making a mistake, but you want to be able to capitalize on that if they do. And Hannah just did a great job. Unable to capitalize on a lot of the mistakes that Sarah made throughout the match, but when she let the axe get away and threw a 0, she really capitalized with that bullseye.
Yeah, one big throw to change the course of this matchup. Hannah Brussel improves to 7-7 on the season. Time now for our Battle Axe post-game wrap-up. Well, after 4 weeks of competition, it is no surprise to see Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw atop the leaderboard at a perfect 16-0 with an average score of 53.3 points per game.
Yep, and as you see, Chris D'Onofrio and Casey Nines at number 2 and 3, but a really tight, concentrated middle of the pack there that are proving that they can hang with anybody and beat anybody on any given day.
Yeah, a lot of very talented competitors in this league. It's going to be an exciting final couple weeks of the season before the double elimination postseason tournament. Thanks for watching this episode of Battle Axe. For Bobby Bradford and our entire MC22 crew, I'm Joey Danya. We'll see you next time here on Battle Axe.